Welcome back to Kids Planning. I'm Jared, and this is my dad.
Yep, and today we are taking a look at the Mansky Caper from Calliope Games and designer Ken Franklin. So the Mansky Caper is a kind of semi-cooperative, I think he calls it a competitive cooperative game.
Competitive cooperative.
Yep, it's a push your luck game. It is tons of fun. You are breaking into Al Mansky's mansion. You're trying to steal stuff from the safes, which there's a safe in every room, and every room is, for some reason, booby-trapped with dynamite to stop people from stealing his stuff.
Something that we have told him many times that is on that picture. Sorry, Al. We blew up your mansion.
Yep.
Don't booby-trap your house with dynamite.
And if you play this game and you tweet to Al Mansky at the Mansky Caper, Al Mansky will tweet back to you with his disappointment that you chose to break into his mansion. So the gist of how the game plays, everyone has a different character that has some special abilities that they can do for other players. The mansion is made up of a bunch of different rooms. I think usually you start with 5 or 6. We only have 2 here just so we don't take up the whole table, but there are a bunch of rooms that you can play with. And each one has different amounts of explosives and treasure and stuff. And then you have the getaway card, which is where everyone goes to stash their loot. So one of the fun push your luck parts of this game is when you go into a room, you shake the safe, you reach in, you pull out something randomly, and you take the loot that you get. So this would be 5 coins. I put that on top of my bag, and then until I actually use a turn to go to the getaway car, if this room explodes, if I pull dynamite and blow up the room, I lose this. So it's kind of a fun figuring out when to go back to the car, when to kind of push the luck a little bit.
And I think dynamite
You think you're gonna pull dynamite? Nope, that's a gasp. Gasp tokens let you get these gasp cards.
This is dynamite.
Do something. The gasp cards just do something for you. Yep. So when you pull dynamite, you roll the danger dice, and that tells you to either blow up the room, either Al Mansky comes home and you lose all your treasure that you haven't stashed. There's a lot of different things. So even if you pull dynamite, you're not guaranteed to blow up the room.
Yeah, you could just lose all your loot.
Yep.
Which is just as bad.
Yes. And then when the loot comes out, you take the equivalent. So this is 5 coins. I take 5 coins and put it here. And then I put that on the room so I can see what is still left in the safe, because this right here is what is put in the safe when you reveal the room. So what do you like about this game?
Well, one of my favorite parts is the Easter eggs that are hidden around the house.
You like Easter eggs.
There's the Sorry Al picture there, and in Al Mansky's master bedroom, there is a Suro rug, which right now I'm wondering, why does Al Mansky like Calliope Games so much if he's this weird guy who blows up his mansion all the time?
And Calliope Games is sending people to his mansion to steal his stuff. Doesn't seem like he would be a big fan, but obviously he is, because he has a Suro rug in his room. So as far as the gameplay, what's your favorite part about the gameplay?
My favorite part is the safes.
Yes, the 3D safes are really cool. They come pre-assembled. You don't have to assemble these and stick them together. They come in the box like this, which is fantastic.
I meant I like the safe mechanic.
Oh no, I do too. I just also like that you don't have to put the safe together when you do it and risk breaking it.
Though, how do you get into the safe if it's locked all the time?
The lid opens. They're not great safes. Al Mansky needs better safes that actually lock, but the lid's open on them. So I think they're more for looks than actual safety. So again, when you open a room, you put this stuff in it, so you know that this safe, when you start, is going to have 3 dynamites, it's going to have 2 gasp tokens, and it's going to have 6 treasure tokens. And the treasure tokens can be lots of different things. Sometimes you get diamonds, sometimes you get coins, but you know what's in the safe when it starts, when the room is revealed. And then through gasp cards and other things, you might reveal more rooms throughout the game. And you play until everyone either goes to the getaway car at the same time and decides that they're going to stop the game, which we have never done, or until you blow up all the rooms.
We did that every time, and we have always told Al Mansky, sorry for blowing up your mansion, get a better safety maneuver.
Yeah.
Get just alarms that make the people go out of it.
And he always seems offended, and he tells us just to not break into his house, which seems a little...
He stole it from us.
Yeah. There's a lot of history between Al Mansky and the characters of this game. So it is a really fun game. We really like the push your luck part of it. The rule book is a comic book, which is awesome.
That's how we know all the history from it.
Yeah. And as far as a push your luck game, and I think the story around it really makes it a little easier to stomach the losing all of your loot, things like that. It's so much fun. It's so creative. You never feel really, and it's frustrating when you blow up the room or when you know there's like 2 dynamite tokens and 15 good tokens and you still manage to get the dynamite. It can be frustrating, but that's push your luck games. That's how they all are.
Yeah, I remember at one point I had been in a room with mostly dynamite in it, and our mom was there with like a big pile of loot, and I blew up the room. I did not have anything. She had like 1,000 things, and she lost all of it.
Yeah, that is when you're in a room, whatever you take from the safe, you have to share with the other people in that room. So if I get 5 tokens and these 2 people in the room, if I have one of these people, I get 5 tokens. I have to split it evenly and leave the leftovers on the floor until the leftovers can be divided evenly, either from people leaving or more people coming in.
Here's a tip: you don't want to share dynamite. It doesn't end well.
Yes, and that's so. If you're in the room with somebody and the room blows up, even if you're not the one that blows it up, you still lose all your loot. So you can, like, if you know that there's dynamite, like that's all that's left in this safe, but maybe Jared hasn't gotten out of the room yet, and I realize he has a lot more coins than me, so he's closer to winning. I might go in here and knowingly pull some dynamite out of that safe so that he loses all of his loot. There are definitely opportunities to kind of have take that elements to the game.
Yes, this game is not very high take that, but when it is take that, it is take that.
Yeah, and if you manage to get to the getaway car while someone else is there, you can call in the ultimate favor, which makes both players that are there pour out all of their money and split it completely evenly. So
don't do that if you have most of the loot.
Yeah, but so don't hang out at the getaway car, because otherwise especially if you have a bunch of money, because otherwise someone's going to take it. The way that this game really tends to get kind of immersive in the caper aspect, more so than it would seem. Just the way you're reaching into the safes instead of just reaching into a bag, the artwork, just all that, it's rolling the dice. It just somehow sucks us into this. We're pulling off a caper. We're trying to hide from Big Al Mansky. One of the things that when you leave loot on the floor, if there's 3 people in a room and there's 2 coins on the floor, and one of those people leaves, then as soon as that is evenly divisible amongst the people in the room, they can split it even if it's not their turn. So there's been a couple times when it's like someone's thinking of what they're gonna do, and like Allison and I'll look at each other and be like, okay, if Jared leaves, then we get the loot. And Jared will leave, and we kind of give each other a look and take the loot. So it's kind of that, again, it's that competitive cooperative where you are all trying to kind of steal the loot together. You don't want to blow up the rooms most of the time, but you're also trying to kind of backstab and stash away the most loot for yourself, even though everyone's robbing the house together.
At the end of the game, all I'm trying to do is blow up Mansky's mansion just to make him know that he needs to get a new security system.
Yeah, and once loot is stashed away at the getaway car, you cannot lose it, no matter what you do. I think, I may be speaking out of place, but I'm pretty sure once you get to the getaway car, your loot is safe. So if you go to the getaway car, stash your loot in the bag, and then you go back and blow up all the rooms that other people are in just to get all of them messed up, your loot is safe because you've stashed it away at the getaway car. So I think the more I talk about it, the more I realize there are a lot of take that opportunities in that game, but it's so fun. And just the idea of a dynamite centered security system on your house, it just doesn't feel, it's much more like, well, that was, man, versus actually feeling targeted and feeling like people are trying to mess you up. It is a low stakes, take that, push your luck game.
And again, games are just for fun. If you lose all your loot, you're still having fun.
Yep. So why do you think, why should someone, especially families, why should someone go and look at this game?
Because, like he said, when you lose your loot, you don't feel too bad. You can just laugh it off, like explain what had happened and just laugh it off.
Yeah.
And you're never really trying to beat the other players, you're trying to get more loot so that you can win against the other players, but you're not trying to beat them like in other Take That games.
Yeah. And Take That games and Push Your Luck games can get really frustrating if they feel like you're just constantly getting beat up by the game. We've played this plenty of times and we have never felt like we're just getting beat up by the game. Even when we've lost a bunch of loot and are doing really good and then something blows up, it just never feels like that emotional, like this is just frustrating. It's always fun. We are constantly laughing when we're playing this game. It is just, again, for a good family Push Your Luck with some Take That kind of backstabby games, but everyone still likes each other at the end of the game. The Mansky Caper is a fantastic game to fit that place in your collection.
Yep.
So, any last words? Anything else you think people should know about the game?
There is very funny artwork in it.
Yes, Jared and Peyton always have fun looking at the artwork, finding different little Easter eggs. Like I said, I think Jared just noticed the sorry owl in the mirror while we were setting up for this review. You noticed the rug last time. There's a lot of little Easter eggs in it. The artwork is really fun.
There's also, on the characters, there's little things that you read at the beginning of the game. Last time we played, I got a character, and it just made me laugh what he said right here. He really liked coffee, and he was talking very fast.
Yes. It's a big paragraph with no commas or periods, because he's had way too much coffee.
So this is the Mansky Caper from Calliope Games and designer Ken Franklin.
Yep, and Ken Franklin was actually on our Kid Talk podcast. I think he was our first guest ever on the podcast. So we will put a link to that there. If I remember, something will pop up somewhere around us, but I'm really bad at remembering to do that. So if I forgot, leave us a comment. Let me know that I forgot. Otherwise, we will leave a link to where you can find this game down in the description, and be sure to hit that subscribe button right there.
And watch our other videos right over there.
We will see you later.
Bye.